So we're starting to talk. Well, the Merkel government is starting to talk to the Greens. Does that raise or increase the odds of this Jamaica coalition, where you've got the Greens, Merkel, and then the FDP all coming together? Is that now increasingly looking more and more likely?
Well, whether it's looking more and more likely, that is difficult to say. At the moment, there are two options, which is Jamaica and the Grand Coalition. And both are extremely difficult. But given that the preferred options are just not certain or far apart, the parties need to think in different directions. And yes, and for that reason, Jamaica is becoming more and more, getting more and more onto the agenda.
Birgit, can you explain it to me? Because I'm really concerned about this. How do you put the FDP and the Greens in the same coalition?
I mean, I think that is a very good question, because really that is probably the question which Merkel is wondering herself. And the two parties are apart, especially on refugees, integration, and energy. So that would be a really difficult issue. But then they are not that far apart if you look at it on the economic side. Both do believe that you have to focus on competitiveness and you have to modernize the German economy. And both parties are very much focusing on this and think this should, in the next year, also take priorities.
Where does this leave Schulz? The polling is not positive. He's struggling to close the gap. With 2 weeks to go, is it looking more and more like a done deal?
I mean, it looks very difficult for Schulz to turn this around. I think, I mean, behind the scene, there aren't many who believe that that he can still pull it off. For the SPD, it's more the question of whether they're going to be even doing worse than the last time, which was 25.7%. If they do worse, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to go into another grand coalition, because in the coalition talks, they will get even less out of this government. So, and then they will have problems convincing their members. So for them, if they want to stay in government, at least the leaders, they would need to do better than last time.